good sister, but he looked her up on Instagram and she's got like pictures of herself. I'm telling him it's a red flag, and he's sort of like brushing it off, but she's like full on makeup and everything on Instagram. What should he do in that situation?
If a girl has, you could say more than 100 followers on Instagram, they're not going to just be friends. They're going to be family, extended family, cousins. They're going to be other guys from school, guys from work, whatever, etc. The reality is, boys, you need to really understand that that's a red flag, a massive red flag, because of the fact that...
Jazakallah khair for all the brothers who's come down after the talk. Spending extra hours with the brothers is always beloved to us, and inshallah it's beloved to Allah Swt. So, without further ado, ask this man any question you want, but follow Islamic etiquette. We are in the house of Allah, but also don't be shy to have anything that's been bothering you answered if you're comfortable with that.
One thing I want to mention is just a quick caveat, and that is no questions regarding Islamic rulings or fiqh rulings or anything like that, etc. Anything else you want that's bothering you, that you want to know about, that you want to ask, etc. If I know something, I will mention it, I'll help you guys out. If I don't, then forgive me, I won't be able to help you. Khalas, bismillah. So this is your time, inshallah. So whoever would like to go first, please. Let's get started.
Adam, stop that.
Would you define as someone on Deen?
Okay.
What do you define as someone on Deen? I would say someone who prays 5 times a day. He stays away from major sins as best as possible, actively. And he actively tries to be around good company and stay away from bad company. And probably the last one is he actively tries to be at events and tries to do things for Islam to better himself. I would also add one more thing probably, and that is he actively tries to stay away from bad company. Yeah, it's the same as the other one, but like he actively tries to stay away from bad company. Being on Deen, that's how I define it. I no longer define someone to be on Deen if they just pray 5 times a day. Not because of any other reason other than the fact that they need. That's not standard, man. That's entry. You get it? That's being Muslim, and being on Deen is different. Allah knows best.
I have a question.
Go for it.
This is not my personal experience, but a brother I was speaking to, he said that his family was trying to get him married to someone, and yeah, the marriage topic comes up. But there's a genuine problem he has. He wants to keep his parents happy, blah blah, and she's a good sister, but he looked her up on Instagram and she's got like pictures of herself and all that stuff all over Instagram, and he doesn't. I'm telling him it's a red flag, and he's sort of like brushing it off in the sense that, but she's like full on makeup and everything on Instagram.
Yeah. So
what should he do in that situation?
So Aman asked a question that he knows a brother who's looking to get married, and the girl, basically she's a good girl, but she's wearing makeup and she's got pictures. Her pictures are on Instagram, yeah?
Yeah.
Pictures are on Instagram. Is it public profile?
No, it's not public profile.
Khalas, doesn't really make a difference. It does, but it doesn't. So what you'll often find is, if she only accepts her close friends, that's a different story. Do you get what I'm saying?
But you can definitely tell with the amount of like followers he showed me she had, etc.
Okay.
They're not like.
It's not close friends, yeah?
Yeah, you can tell there's like school friends and stuff like that.
School friends, could be boys and stuff, okay. So, if a girl has an Instagram account and she's got like about 40 people following her, and it's a private account, and she wants to upload her pictures or whatever, she's gone out on a wedding or blah blah blah, she's dressed nicely and she just uploads them on. Firstly, I wouldn't advise that, because now there's cyber hacking and other things as well that can get into it. But look, let's just say for argument's sake that she won't get cyber hacked or whatever, and those pictures no one's going to see them, etc. Khalas, fine. You got to be clever, you got to use your intelligence a little bit and understand that, okay, perhaps that's not really too bad. But if a girl has, you could say more than 100 followers on Instagram, they're not going to just be friends. They're going to be family, extended family, cousins. They're going to be other guys from school, guys from work, whatever, etc. And she uploads her pictures on there. The reality is, boys, you need to really understand that that's a red flag, a massive red flag, because of the fact that a woman's purpose is, as a believer, as a Muslimah, is to cover herself and to not be seen by the eyes of men. Because all she wants is for her beauty to be shown to one man, and for one man to enjoy her beauty. Rather, what we often find is the opposite. You see, a caterpillar starts off as a caterpillar, and then it comes out and blossoms into a butterfly. But the problem we're finding is girls are becoming butterflies for the world and then come home, take off their makeup and become caterpillars. Right? It's a total opposite. You want your wife to be beautiful for yourself, for your eyes, not for the eyes of the whole world or for other people to see or whatever. Because as much as we hate it, the reality is that any woman that flaunts herself shows that there could be potential interest elsewhere. And the dangers of social media are so, like, you know, you've got timer messages on Instagram now that get deleted automatically. You can send a picture that you can't screenshot. Like, everything is catered. Snapchat is catered towards knowing if the other person is going to screenshot your picture or not. It's a secret chat. It goes away after it disappearing instantly, after viewing it once. Everything's designed to cheat. So the reality is, if you're the woman that you want to be with for the rest of your life, who you want to be an example for your daughter, if you want her to be an example for your daughter, you need to realize something. Are you happy for your daughter to be like her? Are you happy for your daughter to have other guys on her Instagram? No. So why would you want your wife to do that? Because she's going to be the biggest example for your daughter. So be very vigilant as to these things. And one of the biggest problems that young people have is that they ignore red flags. Ignoring red flags comes to bite you back later. Wallahi al-azim. And the thing is that as a guy, you need to really understand one golden principle. If she's sending you pictures and if she's doing things now before marriage or whatever, if she can do it to you, she can do it to others. Let me repeat that again. If she can do it to you, she can do it to others. Don't think you are somebody special. The reality is that if she's doing it to you, then it could be a possibility that she could do it to others. It's the same with guys as well. The door swings both ways. You know? So the reality here, brothers, is that it's important that everyone's got a different level of ghira. Yeah? Everyone's got a different level of protective kind ofness of their women. But essentially, the foundations should be that she should not have a public Instagram or public social media platform, and even if she has a public or even if she has a private one, it shouldn't have her pictures on there. Especially with what AI can do right now, because an AI picture can take her face and remove her clothes and add shapes to her body and add this to it. AI can do that, and it's becoming more and more intelligent. AI nowadays, wallahi brothers, yeah, it could do so many things. Have you heard me give an Arabic lecture? Let me show you. Let me give you. I gave an Arabic lecture, bro. Let me show you my Arabic lecture.
Sometimes قد يكون الذهاب للمحاضرات الإسلامية جافا مثل بعض الشيء. فهمت؟ لننظر. لقد حضرت محادثات تجعلني أغفو، خصوصا في زمن الانحرافات. قد يصعب الاستماع للمحاضرات لساعات. لذا هناك منظمة جديدة أود أن أخبركم عنها تدعى 26. قرروا تبسيط الأمور وإنشاء حدث فريد مع لجنة من متحدثين مسلمين شباب بغية معالجة قضايا العصر الحديث. سيقدم كل شخص تذكيرا قصيرا بالإضافة إلى حلقة نقاش ممتعة. الجولة ستكون من 27 إلى 31 أكتوبر في 5 مدن.
برمنغهام
شيفيلد
وبرادفورد. Yeah, mad, isn't it? Sounds just like me, right? It's an app, yeah. AI is going crazy.
What tool did you use for that?
Captions.
Captions.
Yeah. Have a lot of fun with it. I sent it to Hamza, yeah? I sent that to Hamza. He's like, no way!
You say it without saying it's AI first.
I said, bro, I can speak Arabic fluently. No, wallahi, go on. I said, I'm ready for Umrah now, bro, properly, bro. Ready to guide people on Umrah without full on Arabic.
Arabic speaking exam in June
I know it.
for uni.
So what I'm saying is that even for girls right now on social media, bro, you could take a picture and make it into anything. You know the Umrah tour that we're going on? The pictures like of the Kaaba and everything, that was AI generated. Boys, like everything right now, subhanAllah, is AI. Like just know that subhanAllah, like you can manipulate anything. So for a girl to have her pictures online, anyone can screenshot that. So just be careful of these things, you know? Anyway, sorry, that was a bit of a funny tangent, but yeah.
I just want to make a point.
Go for it.
You know, like, so I remember someone saying this. If you're like texting her and you generally have it's quite obvious that you're not keeping it necessary, as in like you're not approaching her for her father's number, her brother's number. You're just having casual conversation outside of marriage, like texting, getting to know her, whatever that means, right? Know that in her head, you're just dopamine hits in her brain. You're just chemical reactions going off. You don't have the privilege of having spiritual love that Allah's permitted after nikah. Does that make sense? After nikah, you get that love, that spiritual connection. Prior to that, you're just a dopamine hit in her head. So that means after your marriage, or if you do get married, etc., whatever happens, that she's still inclined. She can still crave dopamine hits in her head. Does that make sense? Because that's what you were to her. What does a nikah mean after? She's going to go looking for someone else. Does that make sense? She needs that hit again. She's going to go for it again with someone else. So just like you can convince yourself as much as you want. She loves me. I love her. Know that what is love before nikah? It's all in here. You know what I mean? Only after nikah Allah allows it to enter here. Does that make sense?
That's a mad point. Wallahi, that's a mad point. Because if all you want to do before marriage, and all she wants to do is chat to you and pillow talk and chat to you and message you and whatever and have those feel good moments. Once you're married, she craves that again. Life's busy. You guys are kind of like in each other's face or whatever. She's going to crave that from somebody else then. A girl that is loose before marriage, more often than not, has the likelihood and tendency to be loose after marriage. Just saying.
Okay, next question is from my brother. He says, many people see yourself, Akhi Ayman, and other speakers doing events, social media, being famous, and they want that life and that position. What would you say to those people? What advice would you have for them?
And wallahi, I'm not saying this. So the question was, many people see people like myself, Akhi Ayman, being famous, giving talks, social media, all that stuff, yeah? What advice would I give to those people who strive to be like that? Ikhwan, let me explain to you guys something, yeah? And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to deflect, yeah? If I could have the same impact that I could have now by being anonymous, wallahi al-azim, I would do so. Islam prioritizes and pushes the notion of discreetness, being hidden, being shy, holding yourself back from limelight. One of the Salaf, they would go to a town and they would start the classes. And the people would become amazed at how much hadith he's memorized and how he teaches. And as soon as his gathering begins to go more than 20 people, he would get up and go to a different town. He would get up and go to a different town. Another one of the Salaf would cry. And he said, my name has reached a large mosque. And he would cry. He would weep. Another one of the Salaf would go into sajda in front of the Kaaba. And he'd be there for over 2 hours. And he'd say, I don't know if Allah's accepted it or not. We as Muslims need to understand that our pursuit of fame is nothing but destruction. Fame should not be something that we pursue as believers, especially young people. Sad reality is I'm seeing loads of reverts become, into the Deen, and they start a YouTube channel and Instagram and start becoming personalities and this and that. The Prophet ﷺ said that one of the signs of the Day of Judgment is that scholars will be few and the speakers will be many. Scholars will be few and the speakers will be many. And wallahi, I wouldn't enter this realm. And you guys most of you know me for many years. Why didn't I go on social media? Why? In 2016 I was thinking about doing it. I could have gone on it. Why? I didn't have anything that was specifically unique to contribute to the ummah. I didn't have anything unique. It was only until I made a film and learned filmmaking and learned the art of cinematography and learned the art of production and understood that no one else is producing high quality content on a consistent basis, that then I felt, you know what, I'm going to take this step. I consulted my teachers, I consulted my elders, I consulted those around me, I spoke to them. I always stayed within the group chats, within the brothers, would share things with them first and get feedback and speak to people. And why did I do that? It's because your soul craves it. Look, let's not lie. Soul craves to be known, to be famous, for people, for your heads to be turned, for people to talk. That's what the soul, it craves, it loves that. The nafs, the lower soul, the lower self loves that. And it's something that you have to fight on a daily basis. And wallahi, I'll be honest with you, yeah. There are times, like now, Allahu Akbar. I don't love what's happening in Palestine, but I love it because it's so good for me and my soul. Why? Because all the emotions are natural. It's coming out naturally, right? It's not forced. It's not me having to talk in a certain way or chase the algorithm. It's just purely coming out of my heart. And I love that. But then there's times and occasions where I'm like, haven't posted today, like, okay, and you start to kind of chase that, and that's when the heart begins to have rust. And that's something that if you're not aware of, it will flipping destroy your life. Who knows where I'm going to end up? You guys are way more luckier than I am, because my test is difficult and it's hard, and that's why I love being with you brothers. I love hanging out and staying in Wickham. I haven't given a talk in over a month now, nearly a month and a half. Why? I needed a break. That was it. I'm traveling this country, that country, flipping Canada, Denmark, Scotland. Man, forget it was everywhere you go. They don't know who you are. All they do is they come to the lectures. They don't want to take a picture with you. Can we take a picture with you? Can we take a picture with you? And what do they do? Post it on their story. Oh, I'm with him. Wallahi, someone wanted to take a picture with me and he didn't know who I was. Why? Everyone else is doing it. Let's put it on the story. Oh, who is he? I don't know. We have created celebrity culture, and that's big. That's one of the biggest problems. Celebrity culture in the West is something big, yeah. And unfortunately, as Muslims, if you are not grounded, if you don't have tarbiyah, if you don't have a community around you, if you don't have at least some type of knowledge, if you don't have brothers around you that will hold you to account and say to you, bro, don't share that. I mean, let me be honest with you. Isa here, countless times he said to me, bro, I don't think you should post that. I think you should take that down. I don't think that's good. If you don't allow that to happen in your circle and all you have is an echo chamber, then the problem is that you're as lost as anyone. We all need accountability. And don't strive to be like me. Don't. Wallahi, don't. If there's anyone to strive to be like, it's the brothers that you don't even know about, that are in this gathering, that are pillars of the da'wah. They are the ones you should strive to be like. Look at Abu Rumaysa. Abu Rumaysa is known worldwide, by the way. Don't get it twisted, yeah? Abu Rumaysa learned Arabic in 6 weeks, fluently. Translates massive books in Arabic. The chairman of this wise mosque, Abu Rumaysa, yeah? He's known worldwide. Mashayikh know him all over the world. But wallahi al-azim, some miskeen from down the road will come into the masjid and think, who's this dude with some jeans? Why? Why? He doesn't care about fame. This doesn't bother him. That's not his pursuit. If you don't have anything new, if you don't have anything innovative and beneficial and something fresh, don't come online. You don't need to be online. I was speaking to Isa earlier as well. We were discussing about potentially giving him an online presence and these sort of things, etc. Just a small discussion. Just thinking, what direction can we do? What can we do? And if there's no necessity or no need, then maybe just leave it. Maybe just leave it. It's not something that you have to do. It's not something that you need to be a part of. No. Anyone, like for example, if someone is excellent at motion graphics and history and knows the lineage of the scholars and the isnad of the narration and these things, and they can create these nice motion graphics and they can create nice video. Yeah, come online, akhi, we need you. We need you to join the battle. Because the way I see this is a global battle of hearts and minds, yeah? And here, check this out, this is how I see it, yeah? So, you're in a warfare, in a battlefield against good versus evil. The side of evil are all online. The war is online more than it is anywhere else. And in this war, there are certain people that have the equipment and the tools to fight this battle. I have been able to equip myself with certain things, the ability to articulate, cinematography, camera, lighting, all this and that, microphones, all that, etc. I've got my tools, I've got my equipment to go and produce content and to help defeat Shaitan and his army. Imagine you're in the front line and you have, for example, a horse, and everyone's got horses, and you're just all, and there's someone that comes and he's got a catapult, and you're like, yo, we need a catapult to break down the wall of the enemy. Come on, we need you. No, but I don't want to. No, we need you. Come on, hurry up, we need you, man. What are you doing? Come on, hurry up. No, but what if people praise me? No. Don't think about that. We need you, akhi. You need to come and you need to fight the battle. There's a need, right? There's a need. He needs to come out. So you get out, some things out of people. Wallahi, Jamil, yeah? Okay. He's not here. Perfect, I can say this. Okay. So, otherwise, I'm done, right? Who knows Jamil? Put your hand up. We all know Jamil, yeah? Okay. Jamil, I showed you guys, have you guys seen this reminder from Jamil? I'm just going to go on my Instagram, right?
I know it sounds stupid, but when I say Muslim...
Yeah? So Jamil, I posted about 6 of his videos on my Instagram, TikTok, got over 7 million views collectively. People were like, who's this line? He can't be compromised. They're like, save him at all costs. You know what I mean, yeah? So what ended up happening is that everyone, subhanAllah, he had over 12,000 shares. And then Jamil messages me, he's like, Akhi, what the hell am I doing for Palestine, man? I feel sick. He's like, I feel sick that I can't do anything. And I had this long conversation with Jamil. I said to him, bro, you need to stop being a chicken, bro, and stop hiding away. He said, I don't want fame though. Shu'aib, wallahi, I don't want fame. I said, here's what I'll do. I'll post on your behalf on my page. He said, fine. I said, but Jamil, wallahi, you need to come out and give more reminders. You need to come out and sit with the brothers and give more reminders and share what comes from your heart. And guess what he said? He said, let's do it, man. Allahu Akbar. But you see, this is the thing, yeah? Jamil, when he first became a Muslim in 2012-13, he wasn't ready. Even in 2014-15, when he was just flirting with the prospect of practicing the religion, he wasn't ready. Even in 2016 and 17, he came back from Umrah. His wife took his Shahada. 2018, both his younger brothers become Muslim. 2019, when his daughter, he's got 2 daughters, and his brothers, one of his brothers married, and he's got a full Muslim family. He wasn't ready. It was only after the summer of 2019 when he started giving reminders at the park. And he started shaking the hearts of young brothers. And then at the retreat where, subhanAllah, his reminder was just blew everyone away. But we felt, you know what, man? This is a man amongst men. And this man needs to stand up for Islam. And this man's voice needs to be heard. Now come and join the battle. Do you guys get it? There's years involved in this thing. And that's why I say those who are just immature, like, oh, follow me back. Like, it's stupid. Jamil, look at this man, yeah? Look at this man. Jamil, he doesn't want to be known. But yet still, 7 million views plus out of 4, 5, 6 videos that he didn't even edit or touch, or he didn't even record. He just sat there, gave the reminder. And a lot of these kids and youngsters are now chasing views. Yeah, he doesn't want it. He said, I don't want to be famous. What a flipping man. What a man. What a man. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. What a man. Just think about that. As an individual in this world right now, he's a man. He's a married man with kids. He's got responsibility. He ain't got time for little kiddish things like clout chasing. He doesn't care about that. That is a person that deserves to come online. You guys with me, yeah? Whereas kids nowadays, youngsters, what do they want to do? Oh, follow my TikTok, follow my TikTok. Why? For what reason? And this is why I'm saying, brothers, Umar ibn Khattab, he would walk around Medina as the Khalifa with a bucket on his head and patchy clothes. And Abdurrahman ibn Auf came up to him and said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, why are you doing this for? Why are you humiliating yourself? He said, my nafs came to me and said to me that you are someone. Look at you. You're the leader of the believers. Umar ibn al-Khattab, he got up on the minbar. He stood on the minbar He said, Inna alhamdulillah. He gave the khutbah, and then he said, I used to be a young boy who would work for my aunt, and I would get a few raisins and dates as a result. And then I would work for my father's camels, and if I didn't work hard enough, he would beat me. Wa aqim as-salah. Khutbah ends. Why? They said, well, you just humiliated yourself. He said, my soul came to me and said to me, Omar, look at you, look at you. You are the leader of the Muslims. La ilaha illallah. Muslims run away from fame. Muslims run away from the limelight. Wallahi, brothers, you know what would hurt me more than anything else? Wallahi, what would hurt me is if one of you guys wants fame. Is if one of you guys wants to run to the front. But what would make me proud is if one of you spend years developing and crafting a specific surgical skill within Islam, within the framework of da'wah, and then you then collectively, we together get you online, and then we push out your specific niche skill and presence to help benefit the Muslims around the world. That would make me proud. But if you want to just jump online and clout chase and make videos and get views, destruction awaits you. And that's why I waited 13 years before going online. I wasn't ready. All those 13 years was training. Guys, get what I'm saying? Settle yourselves. Don't have that as an ambition. Learn. Sit with the brothers. Sit with the teachers. Go to your classes. I'm ashamed to say that I'm not even fluent in Arabic, and I'm giving lectures. I'm giving talks. I don't deserve to be in that position to just give lectures and talks. Wallahi, there are people way better than me. Wallahi, I don't say that out of, I'm saying that there are people that are better than me. But I know it's a responsibility, and I know that I have to do the job. And therefore, I step up, and when I feel that my soul is whispering to me that I am somebody, I take a step back. I cancel my trips to different countries and what. Khalas, I'm here now. I don't want to give talk. This talk is my first talk within a month and a half. Why? Because the soul just needs to change. You need to sometimes just look and be like, no. Just take a step back. Now that's it. Can't be doing this all the time. Can't be going out and, because look, wherever I go, so subhanAllah, I'm going to Australia now in November, yeah? And like, they like booking tickets. The tickets are flipping £40, yeah? And they've sold out like 500-600 people in a venue. And I'm thinking, what the hell, like, I'm like, what's going on? And Australia has a little bit more of a celebrity culture as well, so it's not really nice, man. I'm not looking forward to that part of it. You know what I love? Wallahi. Guess what I love, yeah? Go on my YouTube channel and look at the retreat that we just went on. Best event of the year. Most beneficial event of the year. Moyes absolutely loved it. It was so amazing, mashallah. Right? If you watch the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. Wallahi, amazing event. I loved it. It was beautiful. Why? Gathering with leaders of your own community and brothers. Nothing better. Nothing better. I would sacrifice all of my tours and my events and traveling the world for that retreat. If you said to me, you can't go on the retreat. You can't go on the retreat if you go on those old events, or you go on all those events and don't go on the retreat. Wallahi al-azim, Allah is my witness. I would sacrifice all of that for those 3 days. For those 2.5 days. Trust me. Your own community, your own people, nothing comes close. That's why I love you, brothers, and that's why I've always made a commitment. I said, I will never leave High Wycombe. I will never leave High Wycombe. I will never move out anywhere. I will never go live anywhere else. This is my home. This is my community, and this is who I'm focusing on. I'm always available for you guys. Whenever you need me, anyone who asks for my number, I will never turn it down. All of you guys can have my number. I don't give my number out publicly.
You're older than you one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sticky one, man. Alhamdulillah. So boys, don't chase that, please. Wallahi, for your sake, for the sake of Allah, don't chase it. If it comes, it should come when you're needed for the battle. When you're specifically needed for a specific thing, inshallah. May Allah make it possible. Any more questions, boys? Yeah, bro, go.
So, what do you say to someone that is trying, they're in their daily life and they're struggling to make time to actually put time aside to Allah? So they're busy in their work, maybe they're busy in school with studies, but they can't bring themselves to try and make time for Allah.
Life will always become more busier. Life will never get. Life never slows down. You have this period in your life now, where from the teenage age, you have less. You're going to get less and less and less time. You're going to get more busy, more busy, and then there's like an apex around the age of from the age of 20 to the age of 50, and then it calms down after that. But what guarantees you're going to live that long? Life will only get busier. So if you don't put in the work now, it's going to be harder as you go older. Imagine being married, having kids, having to pay rent, and then trying to practice the religion, and then trying to give time for Allah. When you're young and free and single, the best time to get involved in da'wah, to start practicing the religion, to memorize Quran. Now, I'm having to do these geekish flipping productivity tips and tactics and stuff, man. Wallahi, I'm sorry guys, but as in I'm having to kind of have planners and notes and sticky pads, and I'm 30 minutes of Quran and memorizing this. I'm it's gay stuff. I'm having to do all these stupid things to try and be productive. Why? Because subhanAllah, I didn't memorize Quran when I was younger. Well, I memorized 3-4 juz and that was it. Literally, that 3-4 juz that I memorized in 2012-13, that's all I know. It's shameful, man. Why? Because life got busy. I got married, had kids. It's not going to become easier. And it's not going to become less busy. You need to work now and don't think about doing it later on. You're going to get busy then. Start now, inshallah. That's my advice. Any more questions? Ahmed, yes, sir.
So for some of the boys, they're moving out to uni, or even if they're not staying in uni, there's a lot of people that kind of forget that they're Muslim. And how do you kind of combat that and stick to your faith?
Perfect, bro. So Ahmed asked, a lot of boys are moving out, going to uni, etc. How do you stay Muslim and keep your identity, etc.? I'd say that the biggest hack in uni is sticking with the ISOC, Islamic Society. And I would say go and get involved. And if you see that you don't like something, etc., then go and actively be a person that can change things and help things out, etc. One of the best brothers that we all know is Mohsin Mustafa. Yeah, he's not here. But Mohsin changed when he went to university, purely because of the environment around him. And I'd say that ISOC is probably the most important thing. Probably the most important thing. And then outside of ISOC is who your friends are. Do not make friends outside of the Islamic Society. I mean, that's like a golden rule. You could engrave that. And if you make friends outside of the Islamic Society, then you're going to have problems. And that's just me being honest with you. And that's a warning to everyone who's planning to go to university. Friends outside of the Islamic Society, big problem. There's other things, obviously, just general advice, etc. But I would say that is something to focus on. The ISOC, go and get involved and throw yourself and get involved. If you don't like something, it's good. Because you know what? It's testing you to see your level of tolerance and how you can deal with differences and stuff like that. It's the first time in some people's life where they see like a Shia Muslim, for example. It's good to have these experiences. You need to get out of your bubble. You need to get out of your shell, out of your kind of, little zone and see the world and understand that there's different types of people. You're going to have Sufis, you're going to have these Shias, you're going to have these Salafis, you're going to have different types of people. How do you navigate and deal with it? Come and speak to the brothers. Ask your Brumesa, ask the teacher, speak to us, get involved, understand what's happening. Now don't stay caged in and just don't get involved or just sit and just stand around and just look at everyone life go past. No. Throw yourselves in, inshallah. That's my advice. Sorry, there was a hand up here somewhere. Abdul Nafi, yes, Habibi.
Yeah, I had a brother who confided in me, saying that he was...
You had a brother, sorry, confided in you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he's struggling with an addiction. So he's sinning, but he's trying to get away from it. How would you advise?
So, addictions always begin with something. And it's essentially a thought that becomes manifest. Here's the biggest problem with an addiction. An addiction begins as a thought. Let's take porn addiction, for example, yeah? So, for anyone that's watched porn, you know and remember when someone first introduced it to you in year 7 or 8, on the phone, at school, or someone shows it to you, or whatever, etc. And that stimulates a part of your brain that's never been stimulated before. And you watch an filthy act for the first time, and instantly your brain releases a dopamine because it sees something natural and sees something that it likes. And then what ends up happening is that what you do then is the most important thing. Because neurons are firing back and forth in your head right now. Chemicals are going crazy. What you do after that is the biggest thing. If you choose to act upon that feeling that you had, where you first watched porn and then you're like, want to explore, there is where you have to fight tooth and nail to destroy that thought in your mind, get yourself busy and productive, and to remove any type of craving, because the craving is only going to strengthen and get worse and develop. And wallahi, from the age of 14, some people live with that addiction till the age of 45, and it ruins them, and ruins their marriages, and ruins their life. A guy who started watching porn at the age of 14, he was 34 years old. He was 34 years old, and you know what ended up happening is that he was watching. His daughter was home, a baby daughter was home alone with him, and because he just had a habit of shutting the door and doing the filthy act. His baby daughter, who was 2 years old, the mother was gone somewhere. She left him with him. The baby daughter choked and died in her cot. She was screaming, but he had the volume loud in his bedroom, and he was doing the filthy act. He woke up after cleaning himself, and then he went and saw his baby daughter, and she was dead. A true story happened in the Middle East. And not just that, there's been times where your children have walked in on you. There's been times, subhanAllah, wallahi al-azim, like there are stories that some of the brothers share with me, because they run a program called My Tazkiyah. My Tazkiyah is an organization that helps young people deal with porn addictions and mental health problems. If you're struggling, brothers, don't feel shy, reach out to them, inshallah. My Tazkiyah. Yeah? It's anonymous as well, so you can stay anonymous, etc. And you can kind of get some advice and help, etc. And they share some stories that are just so crazy. Wallahi, it ruins people. So that first inception, when 14, 15, 16, 17, when you're first introduced to it, what you do after that to kind of deal with that craving, because it's a craving. It's a dopamine hit, and it's a rush. It happens to everyone, right? If you see something that you've never seen before and it stimulates something within you, that's when you got to deal with it there and then. So Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned, and subhanAllah, it's so profound, the scholars, their wisdom is amazing, that a sin and a habit of a sin begins as a thought. And that thought then becomes an idea. And that idea then becomes an action. It becomes something that's acted upon. And that action then becomes repeated because it becomes a passion. And that passion then becomes an addiction. And that addiction then ruins you. But it all starts with the thought and how you fight with the thought. If you get that thought, what do you do? What's the first thing you do? You need to fight it straight away. Cut it off. Slaughter the thought. Get busy. Become busy. Go to the masjid. Cry over your sins. Reflect. Put the Quran on. Actively fight your nafs against this roaring beast, which is the nafsul ammara bisu. It's this kind of lower disposition self that you have. Actively fight yourself the moment you get the thought. Yeah? Because that feeling is something that you need to put aside. And don't be alone a lot of the times, and don't go on your phone after 9 o'clock. There's many other ways of dealing with the addiction, but those are some of the things that I could kind of answer now, inshallah. Any more questions, please feel free. Yes.
So obviously I'm new to Islam myself.
How long have you been Muslim?
Since July.
Wow, no way.
Yeah. So
Mashallah, bro.
yeah.
How old are you, bro?
29.
Oh, same age as me? Mashallah.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
So, obviously, I know you said don't make friends outside the Islamic circle. So I come from a background where all my friends are outside.
100%.
But obviously, I've cut off a lot of ties from my old past. Obviously, bad habits and stuff. Cut a lot of ties. But I have one friend who he falls in and out of sins a lot. And obviously, I'm not clued up. I'm no scholar in Islam at all. But obviously, he asks me, and I Google, I revise, and I tell him this is what it says in the Quran. This is what obviously you or Mufti Mengi, what other people say. And obviously, he keeps falling back into the sins, and he keeps claiming he's depressed and this and that, and he's kind of calls like the urge of me to maybe go out to the pub with him to try it, but obviously I don't want to do that. And so I've tried to him, he's getting into sin again of drugs and stuff, so I said, we've got to cut ties. And the last thing he said to me is, you're not a real Muslim. was a Muslim do this to his friend, and I'm trying to think,
Okay.
am I a Muslim? Am I disconnecting from him? Is that what I should do as a Muslim, or try to help him?
Beautiful question, bro.
Because it's very hard to decide. I don't want to.
So, what's your name again, Akhisa?
John. Sorry.
John. So John's got a question. He's been Muslim since July, and he has tried disconnected from most of his friends, but he's got this one friend who, for example, falls in and out of sin. That friend's a non-Muslim as well, right?
He's non-Muslim, yes.
Perfect. And what ends up happening is that he always feels depressed after sinning, and John then feels the urge to maybe go to the pub with him, and because he feels that urge, he's fighting that urge, and then he says to his friend, I need to cut off from you because it's not good for me. That friend then says to John, bro, you're not a real Muslim, because would a real Muslim do this? Wow, what an... SubhanAllah, man, I love questions like this. Okay, so in this scenario, there's a few things you have to do. And I'm telling you this from 13, 14 years of experience dealing with this exact situation, bro. The very first thing is that is it just one friend?
Yes, just one friend.
Beautiful. That's the best scenario. I'll tell you why. If it's a group of them, work colleagues, whatever, etc., it's better for you to cut off. If it's just one friend in isolation, you need to weigh up the probabilities of him influencing you. And more than likely, what ends up happening is that what you have is you have something unique, which is Islam and the brotherhood and the environment. So you have a powerful influencing factor in your life. That's here, right? Imagine this here as a powerful influencing factor. With him, he's not strong enough for a powerful influencing factor on you in your life to take you away from that. So it doesn't make sense for you to just totally cut him off. You get what I'm saying, yeah? If there was 3, 4, 5 of him in a group, that would be a powerful influencing factor that would influence you in a negative way. Then you're tugging and pulling, and then he's struggling, and then you're in and out and in and out. Because you have this here, you preserve this at all costs. That's the most important thing, because that's holding you up here. With him, there's nothing holding him up. He's just falling and he's just depressed and he's just... By you constantly preaching to him, it's going to wear you out, it's going to wear him out, and it's going to cause friction between your relationships because you feel you're not going anywhere because he keeps falling back. And the only way to support and comfort him is to go out with him to the pub. You're thinking like that, right? That's not the solution. The best thing that you can do in this situation right now is when you go to him and you speak to him and you spend time with him, say to him, come with me to this event here.
I've tried that. So I invited him to my house on the last weekend, but he went and done like whatever.
And that's fine.
That's what I'm doing.
And you know what is, John? That's okay. Because you have to see this like a marathon. Change doesn't happen overnight. Change takes years to manifest itself. Many brothers came onto the Deen after years of seeing their older brother or cousins or friends practice, etc. And then they threw themselves in later on. You need to be a presence in his life, but always telling him that the solution to his problems lies in him turning up and coming to these gatherings. You with me, bro, yeah?
Yes, I'm with you, yeah.
By you constantly preaching to him and speaking to him and giving him, what ends up happening is that he then becomes someone that gets frustrated, you get frustrated, everything just starts to, the friction builds up, and that is what causes the relationship to sever and become sour and bitter. But what you need to do is you need to make sure that you always remind him, I'm going to this event, it's an open event, I want you to come with me, I'll come and pick you up. Be ready. And sometimes it's not even about giving him the option. You say to him, whatever his name is, bro, 7 p.m. tomorrow, be ready, that's all. Hang up the phone. I'm just saying, he may be like, it doesn't seem like he's got much of a routine, right? So basically, you just go pick him up and bring him to the masjid. Do that. Try it. And bro, don't expect a result. Don't expect a result. Don't expect him to basically I love Islam now. It's not going to be like that. It's going to take years. Erosion on a rock. If there's water falling on a dripping onto a rock, right? If you look at a picture of this rock and you compare a droplet of water 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the water is surface level there. The dent in the rock is small. The dent gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just water. It's just a drop. But why did it happen? Chipping away over the years. That's why da'wah is a long-term process. Anyone that you love, you care for, be patient with them and give them subtle, gentle advice over time. And eventually, bro, he'll feel like an idiot one day. He'll be like, John keeps inviting me to these guys. Why am I why am I not turning up? Why am I not going? Do you get it, bro?
Yeah, I get it.
So that would be my advice, inshallah.
Thank you.
Yeah? Alhamdulillah. Allah make easy, man. Khalas, brothers. Any more questions? No, we're good. Anyone for? Because we've still got about 20 minutes left. So if no one wants to ask, we can wrap up.
Can I have a question? Just
Go for it, bro.
ask you
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
How did you get the Sunnah Guy? What made you
The name itself.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm new. I don't know.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I just wondered, yeah.
It's fine. So the actual name or like just the presence?
Well, yeah, that's how I know you. So that's how I know you, obviously, as the Sunnah Guy. So
Why did I choose that specific name?
Yeah. What made you choose that? Yeah.
Okay. So the reason I chose that name, bro, I mean, you should hear my Snapchat name. It's even worse, right? these things happen when you're high on iman or something, bro. Like, and you just make these names up. Anyway, so I basically, so at the time, 2020, it was COVID. We were looking forward to all the events in the summer in the park. We were going to do the campfires and all this and that. COVID happened, and then it all just just dissolved into nothing. So I was contemplating between, like, I was just itching. I was like, I have to, give da'wah. I have to. There's no masjid. There's social distancing and all. Oh man, so I was getting so frustrated inside, right? And so I started my YouTube channel. I thought, what name should I have? I was thinking about it for a while. And I thought to myself, okay, cool. So at the time I was doing hijama. So I was doing cupping. You know cupping? Have you heard of cupping? It's basically where you suck the blood out of, using cups and stuff like that. So I was doing that as a business. I was selling Zamzam water, which is like the holy water from Mecca. I was selling ajwa dates, which are the prophetic dates that the Prophet used to love. I was taking people for Umrah and taking people for pilgrimage. So I was giving da'wah, which is a sunnah. I was doing hijama, which is a sunnah. I was selling Zamzam, which was a sunnah. I was selling dates, which is a sunnah. And I was taking people for Umrah, which is a sunnah. What could possibly be next? The Sunnah Guy, right? So basically, it was just a natural thing that happened. And you don't expect anything to even come of it. Like, I never thought that my name would grow to this level. But at the time, it was just like spontaneous. It was something I just prayed to Sakhara, thought about it a couple of times, and it's like, yeah, let's go for it. It was available on Instagram, and I was like, why not? You know what I mean, bro? And yeah, no regrets. Alhamdulillah, bro. I'm not the best example of the Sunnah. I can always be better. But yeah, man, that's the reason behind the story, man. No worries, man. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. What's that? We'll leave that for another day, bro. Something I'll tell you in private, bro. I don't know, man. Okay. Don't worry, bro. It's not Rude Boy Packy 786. It's not that one. Yeah. You know that email address that you have. The first job you apply for, yeah? The first job you apply for at the age of 17, 18. What is it? What's your email address? Rude Boy Packy _786. Which you made in year 7. Yeah, it's not that bad. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I thought she was joking.